In March of 2020, as everything was locking down, I decided I decided before I knew everything was gonna lock down. In March, I walked 20,000 steps a day for 31 days, and I wanna share with you the 7 takeaways that I had, as well as some of my personal experiences and the way I made it a game, which is how I feel like I was able to accomplish my goal at the end of all of it. So 20,000 steps a day equaled out to about 2,700 to 3,000 calories a day, as well as 8 miles of walking. And my steps were in the form of walking in place at home, especially towards the end of the month when I started feeling really weird about being outside and walking as much as I was, and I just got sick of doing the same walking route, so I did a lot of fun things inside. So I was walking in place, walking around our neighborhood. At the beginning of March, I did a little bit of like hiking and walking around the greater area and doing some activities with the kids, but the bulk of it was walking and less like working out. There was some dancing, but again, bulk of it was walking. The 7 big takeaways that I had from this, because I wanted to make the video, because when I was thinking about doing 20,000 steps a day, I watched a lot of videos like this because I just needed to get amped to like see this thing through, and that's what those videos did for me. The 7 reasons why, if you're considering doing this or just increasing your activity in general, this is the 7 reasons that I found that to be true that will get you to do it. The first one is that you learn that slow and steady wins the race, and the importance of momentum. The second thing that you'll learn is the importance of calories in versus calories out, especially when you increase your activity and you see your calorie output go way, way up. That was an eye-opener for me. You'll learn how much time you have, because you initially think, I don't have time, I'm never gonna be able to get this done. And then, like magic, you find a way. Another reason why you should do this, or something that I really just learned to appreciate, is the fact that this is free. I mean, you don't need an expensive workout program to burn twice as many calories as you would normally. It was free and it was easy, and I didn't have to go to a gym. The 5th point is that it's sustainable throughout the years. The 6th reason, and that I came to appreciate it for and why I should do it, is that it's a family activity. You can do it with others. You can take meetings out on walks. You can be FaceTiming out on a walk. You can take phone calls out on a walk. It's a social activity. And the last reason, especially right now, especially in 2020, and I think this is true for a lot of people that are doing like walking challenges, is that it's a stress reliever. It feels good to process all of your emotions and things you're thinking about while you're out on a walk. You can listen to podcasts, get different perspectives on things. And then also it's endorphins. It's being outside. It's having the rain and the water and the mist and everything hit your face. It feels good. So now on to my specific experience. I had already refined my nutrition in January and February and was feeling really good about it. I had more mental clarity, I had energy, and I had lost weight, and I just felt really good. And then we went away to San Diego, and everybody was so active there, and it was sunny and it was awesome. And without even knowing it, I would reach 15,000 steps, and that was, I don't feel like we were really like pushing it or doing a lot, but it felt so good, and I slept really good at night, and I thought I really want to do this more at home, because also being part of Active on that time and during vacation was that we did a lot of activities. We're always out and about doing stuff, and I wanted to take that back home with me. Funny enough though, in March, of course, the activities part didn't really happen. I mean, I have it in my planner as like all the different places that I was gonna go with the kids for homeschool and that we would get in. As a heads up, day 3 was the worst. I know this because it's in my calendar. I was in a dance class and my calves were so sore because it just works different muscles than I had worked in the past. And so my calves were really tight, and like my feet hurt and my ankles hurt. And then after day 3, it all kind of went away and it never hurt again. My shoes are 5 years old. It's not your shoes. Like if walking is an issue, if you're thinking I just need to get new shoes or whatever, I walk in really like a junk pair of shoes, especially when it's raining and it's all muddy and we have leaves everywhere. Like, no, I want to walk in nice shoes. At least I didn't. And then also walking around in the house, my feet were sore for a little bit because I did it barefoot, and my husband's done a lot of research. He's read books on barefoot running, and so I already have the idea that you can be barefoot and do these different activities. And it took a while for my feet to feel like good and strong walking around the house as often as I did, but it was fine. So here's the biggest takeaway from my experience, was that I ate so much food in March, like so much food. I wish I would have tracked what I ate because I still lost a pound a week and I was eating bread, which I was not doing in January and February. I would make homemade bread and then instead of just letting my family enjoy it, I would eat it too. I ate like Ben & Jerry's, their dairy-free ice cream. I ate candy. Like, I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm just saying like this was surprising to me that I still lost a pound a week. I ate really poorly. But that is something that I knew going into it, that I would have more of an appetite because when I trained for 70-48, I was also burning more calories, and I found instead of losing weight, I still lost weight. I just noticed that I ate more too. I was trained, and I wrote this down too in my journal. I was reading it. I wrote, doing a little, even slowly, consistently will change you. I've been walking without sweating consistently and losing a pound a week. It's not hard. I just have to keep going, which can be hard sometimes, but a different hard than killing myself in a 30-minute workout. I burn more calories overall that way too. So I've been trained, I'm in my 30s, I've been trained that you do a 30-minute HIIT workout to get your calories in, but at the end of the day, when I look back at my past statistics in Fitbit, those 30-minute HIIT calorie days were nothing in comparison to this. To walking more, just being active more throughout the day rather than just that 30-minute HIIT time. I was starting to get tired in the mid-afternoon, and when I did 20,000 steps a day, I wouldn't be tired in the afternoon. I would want to sit more, but I wasn't like sleepy, take a nap tired. This last point is going to lead into my rules and how I made this a game. That was that I missed 2 days of doing 20,000 steps a day. The first day was when was my first like work day doing this, and I had overestimated how many steps I would be getting in at work because I worked a desk job, but I did work like where I ran and did errands and got things for people. That particular night, I didn't have to do a lot of running around, so I missed that, and I worked nights, so I couldn't come home and like, fill out my steps. And then the second time was when our state went into major lockdown and I had to go grocery shopping, and it stressed me out and I didn't feel well when I got back, and I just took the rest of the day as like an off day. I felt comfortable doing those 2 days because before I even started, I set a set of rules for myself. And the first rule, the most important rule, because this is one that I knew that I might hit, I had already visualized the things that would maybe stop me from reaching my goal. And the first thing that I thought of was that, okay, if I don't miss it, that's gonna mess up my momentum and I won't continue doing it. So I gave myself the out in that if you don't reach 20,000 steps for one of the days, you have to make that up the next day. And that, the first time I did that for work, I didn't want to ever do it again because I think I had to do a total of 25,000 steps for the day, which wasn't it was hard. And then that second time I did it again, and I didn't want to mess up for the rest of the month, so it was totally fine. So I gave myself that out. That was one of the rules for the game. The rest of the rules, another like number one priority rule was to consider 20,000 steps a day as my job. It was the number one priority for me for the day. It was to get in my steps, and that was my job. I was somebody that got 20,000 steps a day. So it was a mindset thing. The third rule was to be mindful of my overall wellness. The fourth rule was that I needed to visualize the end in mind, so I made sure that I took time to see myself accomplishing the goal and feeling good about what it was that I was doing. Fifth was to set a start and end date so that I knew I had like a parameter. I knew exactly what it was that I needed to do in order to accomplish the goal. Sixth rule was that I needed to brainwash myself. So I did a lot of reading about people that did 20,000 steps. I researched like how to properly walk in place. I watched a lot of videos about people doing it. I read about the benefits of walking. I still get news alerts about walking studies that come out. I was somebody, that was my job. So I had to be an expert in how to walk. And then finally, the last rule, which is kind of the gamification of all of this, is that I tracked it in my planner. I'd write down the steps. So it wasn't just in Fitbit. I also wrote it down in my planner, and I would try my best to also share it to Instagram, the little walking guy, and I made it fun, and I always tried to include additional shots. And that was mainly for myself, to hold myself accountable and also have a record of what that looked like. And I'm really glad that I did. If you plan on doing 20,000 steps a day, please let me know. Or maybe if you do it, come back and let me know about it later. Or if you've already done it, I'd love to hear what your experience was in the months following it. Like, I didn't wear my Fitbit for like a month after that because I got so sick of it. And then my walking was pretty consistent, not great. And then once I started the Artist Way, I started walking way more because that's part of the program is walking. She encourages you to do that often. I lost more weight. And then in October, November, and definitely now, my walking has gone like this. And I've gained weight. Walking is so beneficial. And I hope this video will encourage me too.